Good morning, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Glowing English. If you're watching this video right now, it means you have woken up today with a wonderful desire in your heart. You want to grow, you want to improve, and you want to master the English language. I am so incredibly proud of you for taking this step. Today, we are going to talk about something that can completely transform your life and your learning journey, the perfect morning routine for beginner English learners. Before we begin, I want you to take a deep, deep breath. Inhale confidence. Exhale all your doubts. You might feel like learning English is a very big mountain to climb. You might feel like you do not know enough words or that your pronunciation is not perfect yet. But let me tell you a beautiful secret. Greatness is not born overnight. Greatness is built piece by piece, day by day, in the quiet moments of your morning routine. What you do in the first hour after you open your eyes sets the tone for your entire day. If you dedicate your morning to your growth will become inevitable. Let us start at the very beginning of your day, the moment your eyes open and you greet the morning sun. Before you even lift your head from your pillow, before you reach for your phone to check social media, I want you to do something incredibly simple, yet profoundly powerful. I want you to speak your very first words of the day in English. Look up at the ceiling, smile, and say out loud, "Today is a beautiful day to learn." Let those words resonate in your room. Let them resonate in your mind. Say it again with conviction. Today is a beautiful day to learn. By doing this, you are immediately training your brain to switch into English mode. You are telling your subconscious mind that English is not a chore, it is not a difficult school subject, and it is not something to be feared. Instead, it is a natural, joyful part of your daily life. You are setting an intention. Now, let us rise from the bed. As you place your feet on the floor, look around your room. This brings us to the second part of our perfect morning routine, which I like to call the mental labeling exercise. As a beginner, building a strong vocabulary is your ultimate superpower. You don't need to know complex philosophical terms yet. You just need to master the world directly around you. As you walk toward the bathroom or the kitchen, look at the objects in your environment and name them quietly to yourself or out loud in English. Look at the bed and say, bed. Look at the door and say, door. Look at the window and say, window. When you walk into the bathroom, look at the mirror and say, mirror. Look at the toothbrush and say, toothbrush. Look at the water running from the tap and say, water. This might seem almost too simple, but it's actually a highly effective psychological technique. You are connecting the physical object directly to the English word, completely bypassing your native language. You are not translating from your native language to English in your head. You are simply seeing an object and knowing its English name. This is exactly how native speakers learn words when they are children. If you do this every single morning, your brain will start to categorize the world in English automatically. You will find that you no longer have to hesitate or search for common words because they will be right there at the front of your mind, ready to be used. Once you have washed your face and refreshed yourself, it's time to nourish your body and your mind at the same time. Let's head to the kitchen to prepare a warm cup of tea or coffee, or perhaps a refreshing glass of water with lemon. While you are making your morning beverage, your mind is completely free. This is the absolute perfect time to engage in passive listening. Turn on a simple English podcast, an English audio story designed for beginners, or even a slow, clear English news broadcast. The key here is that you do not need to sit down and stare at a screen. You do not need to take notes or stress about understanding every single syllable. Right now, you are just letting the language wash over you like a warm wave. You are listening to the rhythm of the language, the cadence of the sentences, the natural rising and falling of the tones, and the way words blend beautifully into one another. Even if you only understand 30% or 40% of what is being said, you are doing incredible work. Your brain is an amazing pattern recognition machine. The more it hears the sounds of English, the more familiar those sounds become. Over time, what sounded like a blur of noise will start to separate into distinct words and clear phrases. You are creating an English immersion environment right inside your own home, no matter where you live in the world. Now, take your warm cup of tea or coffee and sit down in a comfortable, quiet spot. This is the heart of your morning routine, your dedicated, active study time. Because you are a beginner, we don't want this time to feel overwhelming or exhausting. We want it to feel like a beautiful gift you are giving to yourself. So, we're only going to dedicate 15 to 20 minutes to this active practice. Open a special notebook, a notebook that is dedicated solely to your English journey. Call it your Glowing English Journal. Every single morning, I want you to read just one short paragraph in English. It could be from a children's book, a beginner short story, or a simple article online. Read it slowly. Read it once to get the general idea. Then read it a second time very carefully. Look for 1 or 2 words that you don't know. Don't try to learn 20 new words a day. That's a recipe for burnout. Just pick 1 or 2 words. Look their meanings up in a dictionary and write them down in your journal. Write down the definition and then, this is the most important part, try to write your own simple sentence using that new word. If the new word is frequent, which means happening often, you can write a sentence like, I make frequent visits to the library. By writing your own sentence, you take the word out of the dictionary and bring it into your real life. You make it yours. After you have written down your new vocabulary, it's time to practice the art of writing. Journaling is a magnificent way to build your fluency because it gives you the time to think about sentence structure without the pressure of a real-time conversation. Write just 3 to 5 simple sentences about your day, your feelings, or your plans. You can write about what you ate for breakfast, what the weather looks like outside your window, or what tasks you need to complete at work or school. For example, you could write, Today is sunny. I am drinking hot coffee. I have a meeting at 10 o'clock. I feel happy and excited. Look at those sentences. They're simple, they're clean, and they are grammatically correct. You don't need to write complex essays with advanced grammar structures to be fluent. True fluency starts with the ability to express simple, clear thoughts accurately. When you write these sentences every morning, you are building the structural foundation of your English brain. You are training your hands and your mind to coordinate and express ideas effortlessly. Now that you have practiced listening, reading, and writing, there is one final beautiful step to complete your morning routine: speaking. Many beginner English learners tell me, I have no one to practice speaking with. I live in a place where nobody speaks English. My dear friends, you do not need a conversation partner to start training your vocal cords and building your confidence. You have yourself, and that is more than enough. Take the sentences you just wrote in your journal, stand up, and read them out loud. Don't just whisper them, speak them with a clear, strong, and confident voice. Pay close attention to your pronunciation. If you're unsure how a word sounds, you can use a digital dictionary to listen to the audio pronunciation and then mimic it exactly. Repeat the sentences multiple times. Each time you say them, try to speak a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, and with a little bit more emotion. Smile while you speak. Smiling actually shapes your mouth and helps you produce warmer, more relaxed tones. It also sends a signal to your brain that you are doing something safe, enjoyable, and rewarding. This entire morning routine, from the moment you say your first words on your pillow, to labeling the objects in your room, to listening while making coffee, to reading, writing, and speaking out loud, takes no more than 30 minutes in total. Think about that. Just 30 minutes of your entire day. But the impact of these 30 minutes is immeasurable. When you complete this routine, you are not just a person who is trying to learn English. You are an English speaker. You have integrated the language into your morning rituals, your thoughts, your home, and your voice. You walk out of your front door and enter the world with a sense of accomplishment. You have already won the morning, which means you are ready to win the day. My wonderful students, remember that consistency is always more powerful than intensity. It is much better to practice for 20 or 30 minutes every single morning with love and focus than to study for 4 hours straight once a week while feeling stressed and exhausted. Small steps taken every day will lead you to magnificent destinations. Trust the process, believe in your potential, and never forget that your English is glowing more and more with every single sunrise. Thank you for spending your morning with me. Keep practicing, keep shining, and I'll see you in our next lesson.